YouTube, how you guys doing? Welcome back to week 2 of Apple Weekly. I've got 5 or 6 stories for you this week in relation to Apple, and a lot of you guys commented on week 1 or my trial of Apple Weekly, and thanks for that. Thanks for leaving your comments and video responses, and hopefully you can do the same in this video. The main thing happening this week is Apple updating the hardware. They updated the iMacs, the Mac Pros, the LED screens, and they introduced 2 new products. I made a separate video on that, and you can see that from the left hand side. If you just click on that, you can go directly to the overview. It's not really much point of me going over it again, so just click on the left. This next one has to be one of my favourite ones, and it's something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. Basically, Apple have put a job listing up for a senior software engineer to work on a new revolutionary feature for the next upcoming operating system. You know, a feature that is going to truly amaze everyone, as the job listing states. And it's interesting because, you know, a lot of critics in the past, or in the past few months, have said that, you know, the Macintosh lineup is dead. OS 10.7 is never going to sort of happen, or it's not really going to come for a long time, simply because Apple are focusing so much on iOS, the iPhone, the iPod Touch, and more recently the iPad. There was not a single mention of OS X 10.7 or any Macintosh related product or service at WWDC 2010. It was just all related to iOS. So critics were kind of right. You know, they said, you know, there was not a single mention, and yet people would expect them to sort of continue with the desktop line, because believe it or not, you know, iOS and their mobile lineup is doing so well that they don't really need to do anything with the Macintosh line. However, you know, those developers who are working on these iOS devices need to be they have to have a Mac in order to build applications. So, you know, Apple can't ditch the Macintosh lineup. It's, you know, the recent financial reports, their Macintosh hardware, you know, MacBook Pros, iMacs, they're raising, it's going up. The amount they're selling is going up. The money they're making from these desktop and mobile laptops is going up. So they're not going in a loss, they're not breaking even, they're doing it even better, they're going into a profit. Critics, you know, are always out there. This week when Apple introduced the new updated Mac line and 2 new Macintosh related products, that kind of shut critics up who said the Macintosh is dying. It's not. But here's the thing that I want to ask you guys. What would you want to see in 10.7? Because to me, Leopard was perfect, Snow Leopard was perfect. And there wasn't really much of a difference between Leopard and Snow Leopard, just a few updates, shall we say, a few security bugs, I think it was. The groundwork was a bit more tighter in Snow Leopard, but you know, I never used Tiger, but apparently the jump from Tiger to Leopard was amazing. But the jump from Leopard to Snow Leopard wasn't that. The UI was pretty same. But you know, one of the things that I like about Leopard is the integration of everything. Hot corners, spaces, expose is just so well built, and you can get that in Windows as well, I guess, but it's all third party based, so it can crash and so on. I like, you know, how it's all just so built together. It's just so well integrated in the UI speed of Snow Leopard. But you know, what is the feature that you said, hey, you know, this is what maybe Apple can integrate in the next operating system? What is that unique feature that you want to see? What operating system are you using? Are you still using Tiger? Are you using Leopard? Why haven't you upgraded to Snow Leopard? You know, what is the reasoning behind it? But it's going to be very interesting come 10.7 as to see what this unique, what this revolutionary feature is, because I've been trying to wonder, you know, what are they really going to do? Because Snow Leopard is just 100% perfect for me. So what are your comments on 10.7? You know, leave them below. iLife 2011 is rumoured to be released on 17th of August 2010, according to Mac Forever, which is a French rumour site. They have got a track record of being correct most of the times, and you know, iLife is coming to a stage where it hasn't been updated since January 2009, and it's just coming up to that 1.5 year mark, and it kind of makes sense. Last week I reported iLife 2010 would be the name, but for obvious reasons I said, you know, it can't be 2010 because, you know, the year is coming to an end. So it makes more sense to have a 2011 version, which will last you up until the end of next year, and you know, even in 2012 they can update it to a 2013 or 12 version. This rumour site has specific information as to what iLife 2011 will contain. It will be retailed for $79 US. iWeb is going to be completely revamped. It's going to have a new mystery application. This is an interesting one. Mystery application. I would like to have FaceTime. I think that would be good. So you can, someone who has a mobile or an iPhone 4 specifically, you can FaceTime with them using iChat, which I've never used, but they've never really done anything with iChat in the past year or two. It's just kind of been there. I haven't used it. I still prefer Skype. So I think if they integrate FaceTime into this iLife, I think that would be pretty cool. iDVD is going to be rumoured to be removed completely. It's not going to be part of the package. And I must say, I haven't ever used iDVD. All applications are going to be 64-bit. Improvements to iPhoto faces and places. I must admit, I'm not one of those people who uses iPhoto. The only time I use it is when I've got images and I'm starting to use more of the camera on the iPhone 4. Is when I'm syncing the photos from my iPhone 4 to the desktop, and I must say, I just copy them over and just shut iPhoto down. So I don't use iPhoto too much, but I know a lot of people who use it, and it's very good in terms of it picks up where you took the photo and you can map it and stuff. So it's just going to be improvements to that whole system, and that's kind of always welcome. And the last one is better integration of social networking within these iLife applications, which is an interesting one, I must say. So that means when you're using photos of iPhoto, you can tweet pictures out automatically or upload them to your Facebook. Better integration. We've still got YouTube integrated into iMovie, but it's not the best. It can be miles better. It's a bit annoying when I'm uploading a video directly from the iMovie application. It won't let me. If I cross that 10-minute mark, it doesn't recognise I'm a partner. And those of you who probably know this, if you're a partner, you can upload any length that you want, but iMovie doesn't pick that up for some reason. And I guess Apple and Google are half and half to blame for obvious reasons. So it'd be interesting to see what this social networking is. I'd love to have Twitter integrated into iMovie, Facebook. That'd be fantastic. Make life easy for me. So I'm really looking forward to iLife 2011. Are you? What is the one thing that you want? What do you think this mystery application is? What do you think of iDVD being removed? Is that something that you use? The third story is Microsoft is asking Mac users to join the Office 2011 beta. And I must say, I do use Microsoft Office because it's so widely used in the industry that you can't afford not to use it. But I don't like it. It's just a last resort. I still prefer iWork any day of the week over Office. But there's just sometimes where you have to use Word, and when I use it, when I open up Microsoft Word, it's just so slow. It takes ages. It crashes. It's buggy. It's still got that look from Windows 3.1, despite it being, I think, the 2008 version or 2009. I can't remember. But it's just not been updated. It's just got that old look to it. I mean, if you use Microsoft Office on a PC or on a Windows, it looks fantastic. It's quite clean, fast. But their development team for the Mac really haven't pulled their fingers out their backsides when it comes to focusing on the growing number of people coming onto the Macintosh platform. Interesting to see what you guys are using for the Mac. What Office suite are you using? Are you using iWork? Are you using Microsoft Office? And more importantly, have you been invited by Microsoft to join this beta? If you are using the beta 2011, leave your comments below as to how you're feeling, what you think of it. Is it better? Apparently it's much cleaner according to this report, which I'll leave in the description below. Is this more cleaner? It's more modernised, it's faster, everything that it should have been in the last update. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Microsoft is in relation to the iPad, and this one's probably going to come out true, whereby Apple is going to offer an engraving service for your iPad, and they've done this for the iPod Touch, whereby you can customise it, i.e. have your mum's name written on it, have your name written on the back, engraved onto the back of it. And while I like the concept, but it's something that I'm never ever going to do, and I won't recommend you guys doing unless it's absolutely necessary, simply because the value of your item is going to go down, seriously down when you sell it after a year. If you are the sort of person who sells your gadgets, a lot on eBay, Craigslist, or in general after a year or two, the value of the item is going to go down with an engraved item. So if you've got your mum's name written on the back of the iPad, the new buyer doesn't want that name, so the value will go down. But nevertheless, there's a lot of people who you just give them something and they tend to keep it, like your grandparents, you give them an iPad and they just sort of keep it for the rest of your life or whatever. So that'll be good. It's free, apparently. It's free for the iPod Touch at the moment, so I don't see why they would charge for the iPad, but you never know, it's Apple. Interesting to hear what you think. Do you tend to, you know, go with this whole engraving idea? What do you think of it? It's coming this Christmas, the holiday season, so yeah, ideal Christmas present. This story is probably going to satisfy some of you iPhone 3G owners. Apple is indeed now looking into problems that people are having upgrading to iOS 4. I have an iPhone 3G in the house which hasn't been updated to iOS 4, and if you have an iPhone 3G, leave your comments below as to what problems you're having with iOS 4. Apparently Apple forums are filled with complaints, users reporting speed problems, bugs, errors in some cases. So it'd be interesting to see what your experiences are. Did you downgrade back to 3 point whatever it was? But yeah, it's not to, you know, the underlying thing here is Apple's not saying, you know, go out and get an iPhone 4. They're still supporting the 2-year-old device, which is a good thing. It'd be kind of disappointing if Apple said, hey, you've got such an old device. While I kind of agree, 2 years on, you don't want, you can't expect the latest and greatest in a 2-year-old device. But that doesn't mean to say you totally ditch that platform, or if there's serious problems there, which according to Apple forums and loads of customers is that iOS 4 doesn't work properly. It needs to be looked into, it needs to be rectified. So guys, that was Apple Weekly 2, round 2, and I'll see you next Friday for week 3. Thanks for watching. Remember, you can join me at iglasswegian.com, twitter.com/i6glasswegian. Also got a Facebook fan page now, facebook.com/iglasswegian. And I'll see you soon. Cheers.